Okay, so we're going to welcome any attendees from the community who will now be viewing through YouTube, and let everyone know that we've completed the election of the chair and vice chair, and the new chair of the Brighton Digital Archives, Beth, will take over from here.
Hello and welcome to the BDA committee. Ralph, we would like to honor Fletch and believe you are going to do that.
Yes, I'd like to thank Fletch for his contribution to the BDA. Fletch has made a significant contribution. He's logged over 1,000 hours. I met Fletch 6 years ago at Hilton Hall in the middle of the winter when we were trying to raise funds for the hall. And one of the ideas was digitization. Catherine brought Fletch and Dorothy into the group, and we just went crazy after that. It just got really busy very quickly, and we became what we are now. And so his contribution is significant. I'd really like to say thanks to Fletch, and he's more than welcome to come back and work on any project he wishes to. I've spent a lot of time with Fletch, and we are friends and we remain friends, and I think his contribution should be acknowledged. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ralph. And although I didn't know Fletch as long as you have all known him, I really do appreciate what he's done and the great committee that is in existence now. Can we go forward to drone licensing? Yes.
Madam Chair, I just wanted to point out, as part of this item, as the agenda was amended, we were going to discuss the vacancy that now exists as the former chair has left, and any thoughts on basically committee composition for the interim during this very strange time that we're in.
I think committee composition is critical, and I think for the time being, until we can figure out what kind of functionality we need in terms of another member, we should hold off, because we've talked amongst ourselves, and no one has really come up with an idea of what it is we need or who could possibly fill the void. So I think for at least a while, we should hold off on being in a hurry to fill that vacancy.
I agree. I think we need to figure out what projects we have, what skill set we need, and also when we do welcome somebody, it would be nice to do that in person and let them feel the vibrancy of the group as instead of just being on a screen.
Hyacinth and Joe, any comment?
We totally agree. Yep.
Okay. All
So
right.
we might want to have a motion for that to postpone posting of the vacancy for the BDA.
So can I make that motion to postpone the filling of the vacancy until future notice?
And I'll second that. That was me.
All in favor?
Sure.
Carried.
All right. Can we go now to drone licensing? Catherine, do you want to speak to that, or Ralph?
Catherine, I think.
Certainly. We have done our research, and it looks like based on our conversation at, I believe, the November meeting or the January meeting, I'm sorry, I can't remember which one, we did speak about 2 of the members becoming licensed drone pilots, and we've looked into it, and it looks like it's going to be about $100 per person, and we do have that in the budget. We talked about that previously. And Swen, who has a drone and has been assisting with many of the shoots has agreed to take the course, as have I. So that will make us a licensed drone pilot under Transport Canada. We feel it's necessary to have heightened due diligence because we are representing the municipality and we want to make sure that we are aware of all the factors when we're operating the drone.
Any questions? Comments? Tom?
So I guess we could probably do another motion to say that you're going to license two users, was it?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so that would be obviously an expenditure.
Yeah.
So-
And that's an online course through Transport Canada approved providers.
And the amount would be for two, the cost.
It's anywhere from
between-
$90 to $95 per, and that doesn't include taxes.
So the nomination should include the $200 approval of funds to do this.
Right.
Mhm.
Have you decided on a vendor or a training program you're going to use?
We've narrowed it down to 4. One of them is quite a bit more expensive, double the cost. I think we can eliminate that one. So that leaves 3, and there's another one out there that we're going to research. But they're all licensed by Transport Canada, all approved by Transport Canada. So it's just a matter of the delivery and narrowing it down. But they're all within $5 of each other as well.
All right.
Do you want to just put it like an upset limit, like up to $250 or something like that then, just to be safe, or what's?
Sure.
Yeah,
Is that
that's a good idea.
So,
Do we need to vote on that, Tom?
We need to make the motion.
yeah, need a motion, mover, seconder, and a vote.
Do you want to make that motion, Catherine?
sure? Yeah. Tom, do you have it written out, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I just have a basic that the committee approved the licensing of 2 members at a cost of up to $250.
Perfect. I would like to move that.
I'll second.
Seconder? All in favor? Tom, as a point of order, does the chair call for the motions or do I rely on you?
You can't, like, we kind of
Which
work
would be
together on
nicer,
that.
but
Okay. Just if either of us thinks it warrants a motion, we just kind of need to
Okay.
speak up, basically. So
all right.
Yeah.
Thank you. 7.4 Brighton, I remember, in Brighton Homes projects updates. Hyacinth and Joe.
You skipped yours, Beth.
Oh, data storage update, yes. There's not a great deal to update you on. I've had a further conversation with Vita and looking at the services they offer. I have had a questionnaire from the Canadian Research Knowledge Network that provides a trusted digital repository, a TDR, that I have not answered yet. So I would say I'm in a holding pattern with this. However, I have continued to talk to the libraries in the area, and Heather Ratz approached me and asked if we could meet with her because they are looking at Vita to start to digitize their newspaper collection, or the Brighton newspaper collection. So Ralph and I are going to have a Zoom meeting with Heather on Friday to discuss the opportunities there. My gut feeling, if I can say that in an open meeting, is that nobody is settled with this kind of data storage. All of the libraries have different methods. And I think there might be an opportunity to work together with Vita and perhaps get a better deal. They offer certain packages now. So I think that is promising. I'm not exactly sure of the extent of what the Brighton Public Libraries had, but Ralph and I will meet with Heather on Friday and report back. Okay, any questions? All right, Hyacinth and Joe.
Okay, we have not been able to talk to anybody right now because of the COVID and we're in orange. So we're considering waiting till we went down to yellow and then contacting the people again. And as long as they're comfortable with it, doing the pre-interview. And yeah. And then also with the homes, we've got in touch with various people about the first one we want to do. And we will be meeting up with the owner of the home shortly. Is everybody okay with that?
Right. And I'm sure you're aware that Dan has a lot of information on the homes here. He's done research for several people, so
Yes.
he's a good resource as well.
Mhm.
Any questions? No? 7 point.
Excuse me, Beth, Chair. I just, when both Hyacinth and Joe were talking about the White House, it just came to me the other day when, Beth, you were on that too for the Dan's recent talk on the Toby book.
Yes.
And Eleanor Dewey joined us from, not Crown Ridge, Seasons. And it triggered that Eleanor would know more about the White House than anybody else in Brighton, because it would be, I think it was her uncle that owned it. And between her uncle and her father, they had owned a lot of different places in Brighton, and she'd have a wealth of information, and she would just love to participate. And she might be somebody that you would also want to do a profile on, because Eleanor was born and raised here and lived here almost all of her life. And she's 95 now, and it would be, I think a good time to interview her. Now, obviously you can't do it in Seasons right now, but I think, well, maybe you could, because they're wide open again. I don't know, but certainly Eleanor would be a great contact for both the White House and to do a profile.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good.
Anything else? Contingency plans for a virtual history open house. Is this your item, Catherine?
I think it's Ralph's.
Ralph's.
Well, we've been talking individually about how we deal with our requirements for an annual event, which was an attended event, which is probably not going to be a thing we can do this year at all. So can we could do something virtual. We talked about doing one or a number of videos for the week that we designate as the virtual Brighton open house. And we'll pick a theme, and we put together from materials that we already have, both video and images, and create perhaps new interviews with people. And we throw together one short or a bunch of fairly short pieces of video that we would then distribute by Facebook and YouTube. And we don't have a time plan for that. We had talked about doing something distanced in the summer, but instead of doing something distanced in the summer, which I don't know if we can carry off that easily, we do this virtual thing, and we choose now when we want to do that. Because normally,
I like the idea. Sorry.
Normally, the history event occurs this month in February. Go ahead.
I like the idea of reusing some of the material that we already have and maybe enhancing it with stills or, little history boards or things that are easy, but maybe bring more points to the fore. Like, as you said, Mary, I thought the Toby book was very interesting. And for me, gave me a lot of information about that period in Brighton's history. So, tidbits. In a way, trying to keep the workload under control, like reusing what we have. And, but I think we need a plan, Ralph, don't you?
Yeah, I think we should establish a small work group to try and come up with a plan.
Okay.
So
do you want to organize that?
Who would like to be involved?
I'd love to help.
Everybody would like to be involved.
Everybody.
We're
Yeah.
good.
Well, can we all 4 or 5, meet as a work group and just talk about nothing but that?
Sure.
Sure.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay.
That- I think that's where you probably, Tom, would need a motion to form an ad hoc group.
Yeah, form a subcommittee work group
And
consisting of, and I'll just list I'll list everyone's names. Mary, are you going to be
Okay.
part of that as well?
yeah,
Okay.
And there'll probably be other
me,
people.
I'm useless when it comes to this stuff. I just have brainstorms once in a while. And brain, you know what, the rest
Do you
of the
want
time.
me to? Yeah. Tom, do you want to form that motion?
Yeah, so I'm just writing that the committee establish let's call it a sub work group.
Sounds good.
It's not really a committee, it's for a
Yeah.
task.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sub work group to plan the virtual open house.
Sounds good.
And Ralph, did you make that motion? Sorry.
Sure, I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
In favor.
In favor.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm just throwing out as an idea, the more we promote the group, the better it gets out to the residents. And maybe we could have it, if the committee agrees, to bring it before council, because they can be good ambassadors to let the rest of the community know what digital archives are, because I bet if you walk down Main Street now, you might not find anybody that even knows it exists. So it's a good way of getting what this group does out, because I do believe that this municipality has all kinds of people who have all kinds of talents, and there's lots of new people that have moved in that may be very interested in this if they knew about it.
Right. I agree.
So it's one venue, but there's other venues that we can use to promote what Digital Archives is doing. I got a email the other day, said that they, and I don't mean it to in any way brag about myself, because it was you guys that did all the work when you did my profile, but the person said she really enjoyed watching it. So, and she didn't know any of the history of Brighton. So that can happen all over the place. I guess that's, so that's just word of mouth sometimes, and somebody goes online and checks it out. So the more of that happens, the more support we get from council too.
Right.
As a
I
whole.
agree. Yeah. It's I think it's, as always, it's just the time, but I think that this kind of planning, having the sub work group is great, because I think we can nail down something that is doable. and not, creating something new. So, I think it will be a good promo for us for sure. Anything else on that? Did that pass, Tom? That motion passed. I don't have it on my agenda because I printed it out, but I know that Mary, you added an item, and that was the disability group for discussion. Is that not correct?
Yes, accessibility. Remember we talked about joining up with the accessibility committee for the last day of May and the first 4 days of June to do something to help promote accessibility in Brighton. And Tom, I don't know if you've got the notes. I didn't bring them with me, what the 5 focuses were right now, but our last meeting, we really learned it, and I knew that you were too busy to do too much, but just 1 second, I'll turn that off. But could you take over for a minute, Tom?
Yeah. So as Mary said, we raised this at the last Accessibility Advisory Committee meeting. Hold on a second. There we go. Everyone.
Tom, we've had some discussions about this, and we've gone back and forth on it. We've come to the point where we'd like to meet with some people and try and figure out what would be expected of us, and so we can decide whether this is something we want to take on. We want to take it on, but if it becomes a larger than we can deal with project, we might not want to. But we were very open to having a discussion about it.
Yeah.
So if you can set 1 or 2 of us up with a meeting to have a discussion about that, that would be good.
Okay. Well, what we were thinking, as far as I remember, was that we were going to continue. We were going to set another meeting for. It was a subcommittee that's working on the Accessibility Awareness Week project. So we were going to meet again. What we could do is bring, as you said, maybe Ralph and 1 other member or something in, sort of as like so that we can just have a basic discussion, not in the public forum, just straight up. Do we all agree on this? Does it make sense? And have an open discussion. So I can invite you to the next subcommittee meeting if you guys are good with that.
I would like that. Who would like to join me? Beth?
I would. I'm happy to help.
Okay, then the 2 of us, whenever that subcommittee meeting is. Do you have a date for that and time?
No, I don't think we set a date. I think we were going to discuss it at the next, just because right now, we wanted to see how your guys' schedule is too. Basically the idea is whatever works for you guys. If you can do it, we'll do it.
Okay.
And my question is, what are the expectations of the group? I mean, are they willing to work with Ralph essentially and creating something that fulfills what they need, but fits into really it's Ralph's work schedule?
100%. They were the same thoughts as Mary and I, just of, if you guys are good enough, kind enough to help, then we will make it however it works for you guys, kind of thing. So
great.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
That sounds good. Now I'm unclear. Do we go into an in-camera session? Do we need to do that today?
No.
No. Okay. Are there any other issues or questions, or am I allowed to ask that, Tom?
For sure. Yeah.
I'm learning. So then we can set our next meeting date.
It looks like Mary's got something.
Okay, Mary?
Yeah, can you hear me now, Beth? No?
Yep.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yes, I can, yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering, just to sort of clean things up a bit, Tom, if we could, if you could find the availability for the people in this group and the subgroup of the accessibility, so it would make it easier to set a date.
Right.
Well, I have lots of availability.
Me
if it's
too.
a Zoom meeting.
Yeah. Is there any particular
There-
days in the week or times of the day that are best for either of you guys?
I'm pretty wide open.
So am I. I prefer a morning meeting, but
Okay, typically
I have
the
a
group,
Tuesday and, sorry, I have a Tuesday and Friday Zoom meeting at 11. That's about the only thing I have booked.
okay, the group typically meets at 10 a.m.
Okay.
It's a Friday is the usual day of the week for that
That's
group,
fine.
but I mean, we could be looking into like maybe first or second week of March or something like that for this. Would that be
That's good.
suitable for you guys? Yeah.
Morning's good for
Yep,
me.
that
Fridays
sounds
are
fine.
good.
Okay.
Fridays are good.
I'll
Yeah.
check back and then I'll confirm by email.
Yeah, Beth, just further to that, it works best for Nicole. She's the chair of the accessibility committee meetings, and she works full time. And so for whatever reason, she can get that chunk of time on Friday mornings. So if
It's fine.
everybody's agreeable, that would be a good time for her.
It's fine for me.
Mm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Perfect.
Do you have anything on the committee, like their mandate or who's on the committee or what they've done? I mean, it doesn't need to be a big deal, but if you have something that's already there, maybe you could send that to me. I'd be curious to see
And how many are they,
what they've done.
the committee?
You could
Right now
probably pull
there's-
that up, eh?
Yes.
Or forward it by email.
I'll forward
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
does not need, I don't need it now. I didn't mean that, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? A next meeting date?
Oh,
We have a date already, right? Except I don't know what it is. What is the? Tom?
I'm getting some feedback here, guys.
Oh, good.
Sorry about that, guys. I had some feedback going on there.
Okay,
So I don't really know what was being said there, to be honest.
Hey,
Oh, just setting the next date. So
Okay.
March 23rd is the fourth Tuesday.
March 23rd is the 4th, okay. Okay, so the next meeting date is March the 23rd, and I assume it's going to be a Zoom meeting? And Tom, you'll set that up?
Yeah, so just on that, right now, we are setting some meetings for in-person, like hybrid type of thing. Most of the ones that we're setting are basically due to people with very poor internet access, like for rural advisory and those kind of things. Like aside from council is a different entity altogether. They get to basically do whatever they want. But for, well, you know, but for committees, it's a different sort of animal a little bit, because we have to be careful about bringing people in, to bring members of the public in. You know, there's a whole bunch of things going on there. So I would suggest that we do continue virtual until we know we're in the clear, because right now we're still in orange. That could be different come end of March, but we don't know. So I think I would be more comfortable, you know, confirming that we'll be able to meet in person once the restrictions have decreased, basically.
Any feedback on that?
No, but I
Everybody-
think Tom is correct, Chair, because it could change, and Tom could, when he sends out the agenda remind us that we're clear to come into the council chambers as before to meet. So it'll be, Tom will have firsthand knowledge. And I think it is much better when we meet in person than on Zoom. So as soon as it's possible, I'm sure Tom will let us know, but in the meantime, we'll leave it that it's Zoom for now, right?
That suits me
Yeah,
fine.
that's what I was thinking.
Yes. Would somebody call for adjournment then, please?
I love adjournment.
Hyacinth.
Yes.
And Tom, a point of order again. I understand we don't have to vote on adjournment. Is that correct?
Depends.
It's handled as a regular motion. So there's two
Okay.
ways you can do it. Either the chair can just call it, like at any time, you could just say meeting adjourned.
Oh, that's good to know.
If you felt. the
You
need,
got power, woman.
But the other, the.
So we are going to continue on calling for a motion and then we'll vote on it. Great, okay. Who would like to move adjournment?
Hyacinth did.
All in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Tom.
everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Mary.
Thanks.